opportunity. That's like, is it?
I was interviewing my father about the way he wipes his ass.
Giant baby.
That tasted like a can of SpaghettiO sauce.
Yeah, like Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, like Chef Boyardee, exactly.
Yeah,
I wonder if I can find a way to like spray my semen on her face even when I'm not there.
Yeah, it's like a moral fucking dilemma.
It's an AIDS advertisement.
Oh, this is god awful.
Not the moves.
This is not amateur hour. Yo.
Yo,
Go ahead.
I fucking fully forget the context where I was like, I want to find a way to spread my semen on her face when I'm not there.
You were talking about setting up a trigger so
The door, yeah, never
so
mind.
the package thief would get sprayed with semen in the face. Yeah.
Dude, okay, so hold on a second. So my mother has been aware of this problem, right? Like I alerted her, I'd let her know something happened, right? So out of nowhere, like a week or two ago, she calls me up and she gives me some advice, and she's like, I was thinking about the package that got stolen. She's like, I heard on the radio that people have been taking shits in boxes and then packaging them up with like their address on it and then leaving them on the step with like an LOL inside. She's like, I think you should take a shit and leave it in a box for that woman. This is my mom, who's like, honestly, like the most straight-laced fucking human I've met in this world, is telling me to take a shit in a box and smack an Amazon sticker on it.
I feel like this is not the worst idea I've heard.
I mean, it's not actually. I'm in. So welcome to After Dinnermans. Oh shit, that might have been the first time I said that.
No, you've said it a bunch.
Oh fuck me.
Episode 146.
So that joint I had.
Nolan here.
Jason over here.
So you have a new business plan. Let's hear it.
The more I think about this is something I was like, I amused myself with the thought yesterday, right? And the more that I think about this, it's gonna sound so ridiculous. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna purchase a domain. It's called Not Little Yachty's yachty.com. So let me just explain briefly. So a knot, in case you're unfamiliar, is a measurement of nautical speed, right? Which is equivalent to like 1.8 miles per hour per knot.
Okay.
So it also is like a play on words. So yachty or naughty. My idea is that I want to create a review site where I review yachts with the hopes that the yacht companies will then send me sample yachts to review for them, right? So I thought that there might be some confusion because there's a rapper named Little. So the original idea was yachty or naughty.com. But then I thought like Little Yachty might get upset with this. So I wanted to add the preface that was like, this is not Little Yachty's naughty or yachty.com, but my yachty or naughty.com.
It's not crazy far-fetched. I mean, a yacht is a big thing to just send a sample of.
The only thing I haven't figured out is like where I'm going to get the
people do car reviews and get free samples of cars to like drive for like a week and give back,
I mean, the idea would be to take the yacht and keep it, but like, sure, that sounds good.
Yeah, but you also would have the opportunity to maybe have like a new yacht every month.
I would also have the ability to have a lot of fucking prestige. Like, look at me on the internet with my fucking hoity-toity yachts.
You would probably have to learn how to operate a yacht first. That would maybe be the more difficult and challenging part of it. Because people actually like learn to like, like I know people who own boats and they actually like can't even take them out themselves. They have to like hire a captain.
Well,
to do it.
Is it that they have to or that they can?
They have to because
they just don't care enough to learn.
Don't have the knowledge to operate like that kind of vehicle. Apparently, it's like incredibly difficult. Which, like, conceptually it doesn't seem it, but apparently it is.
Yeah, I guess it's just it's a big boat, right? That's what it is. I mean, I spent the night on one of those unique Airbnb things. I got a yacht. Docked in Philadelphia in the middle of the winter and spent a night on it like an idiot.
Was it cold?
So the guy, he lived in an adjacent yacht that was also in the dock. So he lived there. He had like 2 space heaters on the boat, but the situation was such that if we ran bless you, both
you.
of the space heaters at the same time, and maybe even such a thing as like all of the light bulbs on the boat at the same time.
Right.
We would we would like overthrow the breaker and like fuck it up. So we had to like temper our heat. Yeah, it was pretty fucking cold. It was like December 17th. It was like a week before Christmas.
Yeah.
And I just was feeling fucking stressed out and wanted to do something for a night to get away. So I walked like a mile down the river, down to the fucking Ben Franklin Bridge, and like,
You slept on a boat a mile from your house.
yeah.
You have this thing where you end up sleeping in a boat on the Delaware River whenever things are not going your way.
I mean, it's been known to happen, I suppose. It's been known to happen.
I mean,
I do love that river, you know.
it's not the most outlandish thing I've heard. Like, I expected it to be wilder than that. I mean, so I was listening to this book that I'm not all the way through, but it's like about something. But anyway, they like it's just too complicated to explain. But there's this section. It's about like how the brain responds to like inconsistent rewards, like more readily than it responds to consistent awards, which is like
the Pavlov's dog thing.
no. It's like the first chapter they talk all about like slot machines and like modern slot machine design versus like previous slot machine design, and like a big part of it is like winning in small increments unpredictably but often, as opposed to like losing most of the time and winning big. So like the older design where like you would lose more often, but when you would win like an actual jackpot. Like the current design is like lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, win, lose, win. But like you're winning in such small increments that overall you're losing way more than you're winning. So the casino's still making a profit.
Yeah, it's exactly like scratch off lottery tickets.
And then they branch out into like they go from there and they go into like addiction and overeating and fucking, you know, like weight loss apps and like, you know, social media and like all of this stuff. Like they use social media as an example where it's like, you know, I might get like no likes. I might get like 100 likes. I might get 50 likes. And, you know, like because it's inconsistent, it leaves you always chasing the dopamine rush. Right. So, where I connected what you were saying was like the entire wine industry. Like wine now is like based on like a score. So like it's a score of like 0 to 100, right?
Okay.
So like if you walk into like, so like obviously I don't, well not obviously, but like I'm not a drinker, but like sometimes I will go to the store and buy wine for a dinner party, right? So I will typically go to a store that has like the scoring system. So if something like scores high and is in the price range I'm willing to spend and complements the meal I'm preparing, that's what I'll buy. And like usually it's like a hit, right? Like it's very rare that it's like, you know, people are always like, you don't even drink wine. How the fuck do you like always buy good wine? I'm like, well, fucking there's a score. Like it's the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But the score was actually invented by some guy from like Iowa or Idaho or something like that, who just like really enjoyed wine, but thought it was like incredibly pretentious because like sommeliers and wine reviewers were like very like snooty people. So he was like, well, I'm going to make this more accessible to where like you don't have, because people would like, he's like had the experience of like going out with friends and they would like order a wine and somebody who's really knowledgeable would be like snobby about it and like look down on them, even though like the whole table actually enjoyed it. So he was like, well, and then there was like this whole experiment that like he took place in where they just swapped labels between like expensive wines and inexpensive wines. And like the, you know, the quote unquote expert sommeliers would like taste the wine and just like based on the label be like, oh, well, this is fucking trash. This is like cat piss. And like the other one, they would be like, yeah, this is unbelievable. You can taste the tannins. And then
It was like boxed.
Yeah, and like when they told him they just swapped the labels on like the $2 wine and like the $200 wine, they were like furious because the whole
Yeah, it insults everything they do, right?
yeah, the whole wine taste. Well, all of wine tasting is fucking horseshit. There's been so many documentaries on it. Like, I don't know it intricately. Like, I'm not a sommelier, but like, I know so many people who go and get that certification just because of my a lot.
Oh, and the rest, yeah, sure, okay.
Just because of my industry.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they're like,
yeah.
well, it'll help me advance my career. And it's like, sort of. Like, it'll sort of help you advance your career. Like, maybe if you're going to go be the sommelier at like the Four Seasons or the Ritz, sure. But like, in most cases, it's not really doing anything. It's just something you could say you did. It doesn't really help you get any fucking further. It's kind of a horseshit certification. Like on the other side of the business, there's something called CFE, which is Certified Franchise Executive. And it's like you pay $2,000 for an 8-month course, and it's not a real certification. There's like 5 companies that offer it. What they teach you is completely inconsistent. It's all horseshit. But like you get to say like, oh, well, I've done this, and like pretend you have a degree when you don't.
A degree in drinking alcohol.
Exactly. So anyway, this guy was like, I don't want this to be snobby. So he discovered a ranking system. He created a ranking system and created his own publication where he released scores of wines he tried based on like a number of criteria and then like an overall score.
Like 0 to 100 or something?
0 to 100. And what happened was all of these winemakers gradually started like reformulating their wine to appeal to, like, it got really popular because it became really accessible to like everyone instead of like just like, because, you know, you could get a cheap wine with a fucking high score or like a great expensive wine with like a shitty score. So all of the winemakers started changing their formulation to match his scoring. And it became the new standard with the intent of like making it more accessible. And he basically like re-scripted what the entire industry was like in the past 15 years because he was like, this is horse shit. I'm going to change it and make it acceptable. So if he could change an entire fucking industry, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that like Ferrari might send you a lot to test drive.
Is that's the connection?
That's the connection.
Yeah,
that's how I
right.
got there.
I guess you're right. I see what you're saying.
I think the weird thing is that like I know the only yacht maker that I know is Ferrari.
Oh, I thought you were just like, oh, I didn't know Ferrari made fucking yachts.
Ferrari makes yachts, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They're the only ones that I actually know.
Well,
and I only know it because I read like I saw like an Instagram post about a celebrity who bought a Ferrari yacht. Like that's the only reason I even know that.
Are they like the Ferrari of yachts also?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe Ferrari is Ferrari regardless of. Well, that's not true. Not regardless of the industry, because Ferrari is also a watchmaker, and they're fucking trash.
Like the people that make the cars?
Yeah.
Make watches.
Yeah, you buy the watch. It's fair. It's not like.
Does it have like race cars on it?
No.
Oh.
It's like no.
Why would you buy a Ferrari? Never mind.
I mean, like it's mechanical. Like you could argue that like their whole thing is like mechanics, and I guess that would make sense. But like they're not good. Nobody cares about them. You know, they have a little horse logo on them, and like they're decent looking. They're not ugly, but like it's not something that you'd necessarily be proud to own, even though they're like fairly pricey. Like. Yeah, it's fucking weird. But yeah, they're the only one I know.
Maybe you have to have a Ferrari to like want a Ferrari watch.
I know. I can't imagine that anyone who has the money for a Ferrari would ever consider buying a Ferrari watch.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, I mean, listen, they're not like, they're like in the $500 price range.
Oh, so so everybody can own a Ferrari then.
Yeah,
That's
everybody can own a Ferrari watch. Like,
That's
you
what-
know,
that's-
like
that's
most
their play
people,
right
like,
there.
I understand that 500 is. Most people don't spend that much on a watch. Like I might, but like,
Yeah.
so like
fine.
to me that would be like a shitty watch, but that's not true. Like there's fucking, you know, there's $20,000 watches that are pieces of shit, and there's $200 watches that are fucking unbelievable.
That Ferrari watch might be a good like Tinder date accessory.
Yeah, you just like have a picture of it in your profile.
Well, oh, I guess I was just thinking like on the first date, like you just flash your Ferrari watch like casually, and then don't talk about the car, obviously, but like it gives an impression, right?
Yeah, you definitely have to be, dating somebody who probably doesn't know much about watches to be impressed by it.
Maybe.
But I imagine it would be the same thing like if you were wearing like a Ferrari t-shirt. Where,
Really?
yeah, where like
do you work for Ferrari, sir?
yeah, like I can't imagine if you were like walking around wearing a Ferrari t-shirt that someone would be like, "Oh, do you own a Ferrari?" They'd probably be like, "Oh, do you like Ferraris?"
Well,
You'd be
similarly,
like, yeah.
I don't think you would own a Ferrari watch without owning a Ferrari. Like, I just can't imagine, like,
Oh yeah,
myself going
definitely.
to the
I
store
think
and being
the
like-
only people who own a Ferrari watch do not own a Ferrari. I would absolutely bet that no one who owns a Ferrari. I would be willing to bet that no one who doesn't work for Ferrari,
well, how do we put this? How do we get this?
who
whole-
owns a Ferrari watch, owns a Ferrari
we need to
automobile.
We need to solicit the Ferrari
Nobody's
owners of
fucking buying a
America.
$500 watch and a $500,000 car. Like that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense.
Right. You fucking like if you're buying a Ferrari, a Rolex is cheap to you.
I guess.
A Breitling is not an expensive watch if you're driving a Ferrari.
I just-
Unless you're renting a Ferrari for the day.
I just realized I have to go home and purchase that domain before this hits the air. Actually, I'm just going to be a race against time. As soon as the show ends, I'm going to purchase my not little little
you-
yachties, not your
Little yachties.
not little yachties, naughty yachty or naughty.
Not little yachties. Yachty or naughty.
KNOTT, like the nautical measurement. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You could that could also easily be a porn site.
I'll wrap up the .org also because usually it's like for 99 cents, Ed. So
I mean, you might as well, while you're registering that, make it like yachty or naughty. Like,
or naughty. Oh,
yeah. And it's just like,
a kinky yacht website.
yeah, like sea porn. Is that a category?
I mean, it could be, and then that would be like an independent, like a whole different route of me getting a free yacht, I guess.
So we're downstairs earlier, and apparently like the most popular show on all of TV right now, as I learned this morning, is this show called like, I don't know what it's called, but it's this show on HBO, which is like fully nude dating show.
What?
Yeah. So like basically somebody comes on and is looking for a date, and they like all of the potential dates are fully nude, and they're like behind like a blurry glass wall,
Okay.
and they gradually raise the glass.
Okay.
So like they're like, like the guy will be standing there and they'll like raise the glass to the waist level, and they literally are like, "Tell us what you like about this vagina."
Naked attraction.
Naked attraction.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us what you like about this vagina. Well, I like the lips a little more tucked in, so I'm gonna say no to this one. Like that's
I think I need to watch this show.
it's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Okay.
And then they like go up to like the neck, and they're like, "Oh, well, I really like the ratio of like this one's areolas to their nipple." Like,
So wait, is it only men looking for women, or vice versa? Or is it
oh,
both?
it's vice versa.
Okay.
So if it starts with the men, you just see like 6 dicks, like, and they literally like they zoom in on the camera, and like the like woman has to like describe what she likes or
That
doesn't
doesn't
like
really
about
sound
all
like
of them.
I don't want to look at dicks all night.
It's not very appealing.
No.
And then it shows their face, and then they rule them down to 2 people, and then like the contestant like goes and gets naked and comes back out naked, so they can judge him. And then after that, like
That does sound really awful, actually.
based on how they were judged, like they couple up, and then they're like, well, the next time you see each other, you'll be fully clothed, and like.
I kind of want to punch myself in the face right now just hearing
Yeah.
hearing this fucking thing.
So this
is the most watched television show I know.
yeah. So it is awful.
Okay.
It is really awful. So like, I was downstairs working, and she put it on, and I'm like, how are you? And she's like, no, look at her. I was like, I don't want to. Like, this is.
It's all naked British people apparently.
Yeah, I'm like, this is fucking, like, this is garbage. Like, why are we watching this? And she's like, why does it make you uncomfortable? She's like, you would go watch porn. And I'm like, first of all, I'm like, tell me when like I do, when am I watching porn? Like when like I really don't. Like, and I'm not fucking judging anyone who does, but like I really don't. Like I don't fucking care. Like it's not it actually doesn't appeal to me. And it's
Did it ever?
no, not really. I think maybe when I was like 13, 14, like the excitement of like CompuServe's adult channel, but it was still more like it was more definitely like the thrill of getting away with something than the thrill of the thing.
Okay.
Because I just always, never thought highly of people who put themselves on display.
Yeah.
Like that's what it comes down to.
I guess
And,
I always thought it was something that like once people had a child, they're like they see it differently or something like that. I don't know.
No, I feel like I saw it the same way before and after a kid. Like
Okay.
it was to me, it was always like I just have like such a distaste and like lack of respect for people who like objectify themselves.
So you're not going to watch my historical porn whenever I put it out?
No.
Okay.
So, I'm like, first of all, no, I like don't. So how the fuck are you making that argument? And she's like, oh, well, I don't know. I'm like, really? Like, we've been together 4 years. We're getting married on Friday. You don't know yet. Like, when have you ever fucking seen me? We've lived in the same house for 2 years. Have you ever, like, at this point, you would have walked in on me fucking watching porn at some point. Like, correct? Like, there'd be plenty. Has it happened? Well, no, but okay, so your argument is fucking dead. But also, like, it really is, like, fucking awful. Like, and it's just such this false premise where, like, the whole idea of the show is they're like, oh, we're trying to normalize all bodies and normalize beauty. And, like,
My next question was going to be if they're all like models or like
no,
cut
some
or
of them
just
are.
regular people with like little guts and shit.
They definitely don't have anybody wildly unattractive on the show.
Well, okay.
Because it's TV, so they're not going to fucking do that.
And because they're British, so like the pool is really thin.
And the pool is really thin. So fucking, so then they try to be like moralistic about it. And they're like, usually like you meet someone and you're judging their appearance and you don't know what's under their clothes. And like, you end up disappointed. And it's like the same thing when you get to learn somebody's personality. So this way,
we reinvented the wheel.
yeah, it's like this experiment where like we know we like what they look like under their clothes, and then it goes to show that like how important the personality is, because it doesn't mean we're gonna get along. Like it's just so it's like it's absolutely soft porn disguised as like this completely fake woke moralistic horseshit, and it makes it twice as fucking disgusting because it's completely gratuitous. And like so like we'll have this fucking argument because like she'll like there what was that show, it's like done now, Euphoria. There's like a whole episode where like Euphoria's whole mission, and like the director is quoted as saying this, is like to normalize showing dicks on TV.
I watched like an episode or two of it, like, and it was something else. I mean, it was in all teenagers, or supposed to be. Right?
Yeah. First of all, it's a complete ripoff of Kids. Like it's a complete fucking ripoff. It's
like a stylized version of it.
It's Requiem for a Dream as a series instead of a movie. That's all it is. Like, let's just acknowledge that like you're just selling an old movie to new 20 somethings.
Yeah.
So each episode has like at least 5 minutes of like dick, and like every
Really?
yeah.
I don't think I saw any.
So every time I'm just like, dude, is like, can you just fucking watch this without me? Like, this show's fucking stupid. And she'd be like, oh, you don't fucking care if they're showing tits. And I'm like, actually, like, I fucking do. Like, it's because they're not doing it to add to the story. They're doing it like gratuity just for gratuity is like not like if it's not part of the fucking story.
Yeah.
Like we watched all of True Blood, and that show I was just like I literally got to the point I'm like, do I actually have to see Anna Paquin's tits again. You know, like that's really what it was like. And I'm not trying to be like all fucking moralistic here and like fucking full of shit. It's just like, the thing is, like, I have less of a problem with porn. And the reason I do is because at least like you're honest about what it is.
Yeah, like what you're doing.
Like what you're doing.
Sure.
Like, because, and like that, like, I didn't even think about that when I was like downstairs and I was having this conversation, but that's actually true. Like, you know, if she's like, oh, you wouldn't have a problem if it was porn.
Getting tricked into watching like a Twilight-like movie with like gratuitous whatever.
Right. I'm not watching porn pretending it's art. Mm-hmm. Like, this is pretending to have a fucking message. Or Euphoria is like pretending to be artistic. Or True Blood is like, you know, high writing and acting, and then it's like tits, tits, tits. And it's like, yeah, there are scenes in that show where like the nudity is fucking appropriate because it's part of the story. It's moving the storyline along. You know, like a sex scene, like a sex scene's a sex scene, right? Like if you showed a dick in a sex scene, I wouldn't be like, oh, what the fuck am I looking at? But like when you just show it to show it, I'm like, why? And like, it is the same way with like tits. Like, you know, by fucking season 4 of True Blood, you're like, is like, this is just tits and teeth. Like they should have just called this show Tits and Teeth.
Yeah.
Because they're just showing it to fucking keep male viewership up. It doesn't move the fucking storyline along whatsoever. Like what the fuck soever.
Yeah.
So I don't like porn porn to be porn is fine. Might not be for me, but at least I could like respect it on that level. But like porn disguised as art, like fuck off. Who are you kidding?
So there's been a time or two where like I've been surrounded by like just naked people, right? So like the Philadelphia Naked Bike Ride is like 2 of those events where it was just like, you know, it was 2,000 or 3,000 people that were naked. Like 40 to 45% of them were probably female, and like after a while it just gets redundant and old. Like,
yeah,
not all breasts are really nice. I mean, this sounds really ridiculous, but not all breasts are like something to be seen. Like they're just not. And when you see a lot of them that are really fucking like whatever, yeah, I think it does. I guess I don't know if the goal is to like remove the stigma of naked people, right? But there's a reason why we put clothes on.
But it's not.
I know. I'm saying there's a reason why we put clothes on. It's because not everybody's breasts or genitalia are really pleasant to look at. Like,
well, it's not the only reason. It also protects your
I
genitalia and your skin from the elements.
I just said that's a reason. It's a reason.
Okay.
We're being kind to the less endowed. She need a tissue.
Dude, it's like, it's unfucking bearable.
You got to get that local honey, man.
Yeah, it's actually a good idea. See, I've always thought that about the Philly bike race, where it's like, you know, they're like trying to be like, oh, we're normalizing body types. No, you're not. You're a bunch of exhibitionists. Like, you just want an excuse to walk around with your fucking tits out or with your dick flopping around. Like,
I have to tell you, it was both terrifying and exciting for like the time that I did it.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it's something. I don't think it's certainly not like.
Why was it terrifying and exciting?
Oh, because I was like taking my dick out in public.
Okay.
I guess, right. And once it was out for a while, and I was like surrounded by hundreds of other people that are also naked, I really couldn't help but appreciate that I was like riding my bike past all of these like national monuments, like with my dick out.
Okay.
I ride my bike every day, and I don't ride my bike every day with my dick out. So like it stood out from all the other days, I guess. Like,
your dick stood out from all the other days.
No, it didn't.
That's the only day it stands out.
That's the only day it didn't stand out. Actually, it was like very, very. I don't know. It was very placid. Like, it wasn't. I mean, there's a lot of fucking unattractive people that like to get naked, man.
Yeah.
Like I'd actually go so far as to say that the majority of people that show up to things like that are like nudists or exhibitionists, and they're like that because they have to be proud because they're so fucking butt ugly. Like,
Well, dude, that's exactly the point that I'm making. Like, and I know I'm painting with a broad brush and making a generalization, but I think most of the people there are just exhibitionists who've come up with some fake reason to get away with being fucking nude in public for the day.
I just relived some trauma where the guy distributing water bottles before the race had are you familiar with the elephantitis?
Yeah.
Like oversized balls.
Yeah.
He had like one ball that was like as big as his almost half of his head, right?
Oof.
And it was like slightly discolored, and he was just fucking fully nude, and he was putting his hands on the fucking water bottles that everybody, and all I can think is like at some point he touched that fucking nasty looking
Obviously,
thing,
yeah.
and I couldn't get the water from him. So like,
Of course not.
but it made me fucking want it. I almost threw up inside, and like that is why I was like partly also another reason I was mortified is there's just a lot of fucked up looking people that are really happy with being fucking whatever and showing their shit.
Yeah.
Also, as soon as you get like, there's a lot of people disrobing.
It's the same people that go to a fucking nude beach.
Exactly that. But they just pretend to know how to ride a bicycle on that day.
Right.
But like, so I also noticed that when a lot of people congregate to get nude at once, there's often many photographers, professional or amateur. So like at this thing, right? There's way more just fucking like perverts, like whatever it is, fucking I don't know. What do they call it? Not exhibitionists. Like what's the person that's like enjoys watching that? I don't know. There's a term for it.
Voyeur.
Voyeurs. There's a lot of fucking voyeurs with
Yeah,
like
of
their
course.
extremely long telephoto lenses that climbed out of their fucking mother's basement for the first time that month.
Yeah.
And were like snapping photos of everybody.
Because
So-
it's a fetish.
So at one point-
It's just a kink. It's just a kink.
I have a whole day of photos where all I do is have photos of people taking pictures of me because I was naked and they were not. So I was just turning around like making them uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
How did they respond when you did that?
I don't know. I mean, none of them really liked it actually, but like
Of course.
they didn't really stop like
Because
you know.
they're like, oh, I'm not the freak. I'm here to fucking look at you, you
yeah, I'm
freak.
here to look at the freaks.
How
yeah.
dare you fucking objectify me?
But it takes
Diminish what I'm doing here, looking at you.
it takes a certain kind of individual to participate in a naked bike ride. I can tell you that.
And it
like
takes a certain kind of individual to go out and take photos of everybody fucking riding.
that it does.
And they're not that far apart.
Like one or two of them were for like with NBC 10 News or whatever, but the rest were certainly just fucking.
Yeah, well, the news, it makes sense. Like, because, you know, a portion of the city is like, why the fuck are the streets closed and everybody's riding by naked on bikes today?
On that note, let me just say, so this happened a while ago, but at this point, like doing the ride, right? Like all those people that just happened to stumble across a naked bike ride, a cavalcade of like 2,000 naked assholes riding through the city.
Yeah.
Most of them were extremely supportive and like cheering. I mean, like some were like parents with their kids like down in South Philly or like by the art museum or whatever it was. And there weren't too many people that were like responding negatively, I guess. Like
Yeah.
there was like an old man or two that got out of his car and tried to fight people, but generally there was like people that were just like, oh shit, there's a bunch of naked people, like woo,
Yeah.
like that was the overall response I took
Yeah.
away from it. So once people started clapping for me, I started to feel better about myself.
No, I would definitely not be okay with a barrage of naked people riding past my kid.
Oh my God, we went through the Italian market, past the Liberty Bell, like the art museum, City Hall, like you name it, the monuments and the hotspots in the city.
Right.
Fucking 14 and a half miles, we covered them. Anyway, how did that conversation start? Fucking nudist craziness.
That TV show.
Oh, that TV show, yeah.
Yeah.
That TV show.
Yeah, we went from yacht to yacht porn to actual
Yacht
porn on
porn.
TV.
I didn't even think about yacht porn.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
that's got to be a genre, right?
I guess it's
A subgenre?
It's like probably not amateurs, probably because I don't think really wealthy people like would be putting themselves on the internet like that.
It could also be like a fucking. It could also be like a Playboy dating site, like Yachty or Naughty. You're just like, it's just like fucking
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
older dudes who fucking have a yacht who are just like looking to hook up, and that's it.
I like the way this idea is evolving a little bit.
Yeah, this idea is evolving. Like it's a little more niche,
It could be like
but they don't have their own niche, right? So like it would be like a no strings hookup site for fucking like rich playboys
And gold diggers.
yeah,
Or like
and,
whatever.
yeah, and fucking girls who just want to like.
There's a term, like the daddy. What is it? Daddy, like I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, when older men just like pay money to women to be their fucking.
Oh,
whatever.
sugar daddy.
Sugar daddy. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's like a sugar daddy dating site.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like what it is. You get the clout of fucking like, you know, of fucking gold diggers and clout chasers could fucking swipe on these fucking people and
So there could actually be like a way to generate income while I wait for the free yachts to roll in to sail in.
yeah.
Right? Oh shit.
I mean, you could call it like Yachty and Naughty.
Yachty and naughty.
That could be. I mean, you could have all three. Like Yachty and Naughty could be.
Well,
the app.
obviously, I'm going to buy all the fucking domains and adjacent, like the little
Yeah.
naughties, not little yachties, whatever. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This sounds like a really weird way to get a yacht.
I mean, it's a business model, that's for sure.
Patent pending. Wait, trademark, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuckers. So, so we had like a thing this weekend.
A thing?
Yeah, we like got together with some people.
We did. We did get together with some people.
At one point, I found myself looking around at some of your friends, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like, there's like an internet drug dealer. There's two police officers. There's like any number of fucking things going on there." And it was like a very eclectic, well-rounded group of individuals.
A touring musician who works at a packaging facility by day.
Yeah, I mean, you had a little bit of everything.
A hairdresser.
Was it? Oh, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A
He could have been the only one.
a professional drug dealer. Someone who works in pharmaceutical sales.
Oh shit! Who's that?
Jeff.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it just got even more eclectic.
Works in like pharmaceutical sales. So
God
like
damn.
yeah.
What a networking event! That missed opportunity. That.
Yeah, it was definitely a fucking networking event. Yeah, so we had an event. Yeah, and you ordered hot guac.
I mean, I thought it was some hot guac, yeah. Which also sounds like a fucking amazing like punk band name, like
Yes, it does.
a weird sex position, and like it's just so fucking. It's such a versatile term, actually.
Yeah.
God damn.
Also sounds gross and brown.
I'm gonna make some hot guac t-shirts when I get
Fucking-
home tonight.
We order what was it? It was spinach dip.
It was artichoke dip.
What did you say? You were like, why is the guac so hot?
No, I said this is some really good hot guac. Because it was green and I put my chip in it, so like I don't know. I wasn't thinking artichokes.
This is hot. This is good hot guac. Oh fuck yeah, we definitely had an event.
I'm gonna have a punk band called the Hot Guacs.
That was yeah, it was like I feel like certain attendees at the event who maybe have not known me quite as long, knew me
Yeah.
quite as long, were like maybe a little disappointed in the lack of
Titties and alcohol.
yeah, I was gonna say rowdiness, but
shit.
sure, yeah, that's
Sorry. I might have. Yeah.
yeah, because it definitely came up like more than once where it's like, well, after you know, we did dinner and then a comedy club, and that was like basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Although we did stop in Insomnia on the way back, but
fuck. Actually, the bowling alley shunned us also.
yeah,
And
we
you
went
guys
to a
got
bowling
cookies.
alley and they were
God
like,
damn
it's
it.
too late,
Got
fucking
cookies.
no room at the inn. Yeah, we just we just stopped on the way back. But there was definitely like mentioned a couple times, like, well, after the comedy club, we'll go to a strip club. We'll go to a strip, and I'm just like, first of all, no, like, but also like, so like, here's the thing, I have never been to a strip club,
Never.
ever. I've been outside them because you know they're on streets that I've driven down, but like, I've never been to a strip club. I have no desire to ever go into a strip club. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. There are certain things in life that I don't understand and I don't need. Like, I don't feel a desire to need to understand. Like, I don't not know what I'm missing. If I don't know what I'm missing, then I can't miss it. So it's fine.
Yeah.
And strip clubs is one of them. And like dancing is another one. Like I see people dancing and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get why they enjoy this. And I don't need to
Like
find
moving
out.
rhythmically, you mean?
Yeah, moving rhythmically to music.
Why are you moshing?
Exactly.
Fucking assholes. This pussy music.
Why is music playing and people are not hitting each other? This doesn't make sense to me. But there was just like on at least 5 times that I remember, and I'm sure probably more that like I didn't pick up on, was like blah 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 strip club, blah 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 strip club, blah 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 strip club. And like I think for the most part, everyone sitting down on my side of the table was just like, nah. Like, and some of it was from the perspective of like, well, I'm not 24 anymore. So like that is like way behind me. Like I have no interest in fucking doing that. I got a wife at home, or I got like whatever. Like this, like I don't fucking care about.
Yeah.
Seeing some fucking whore like take her clothes off and throwing fucking money at her, and like what is the fucking appeal really? Like, and they're gonna dance close to me and fucking leave me with blue balls. Like I don't fucking need it.
I often like to play devil's advocate to you, but I can't in this instance because I'm kind of the same.
Yeah.
So welcome to the straight male no stripper podcast.
Right. So then like the thing that is like, so my soon to be in 2 days wife, both of her brothers are like, no, yeah, we should, and her cousin are like, we should totally go. And I'm like, dude, I don't. And they're like, oh, like we won't tell her. And I'm like, okay, so first of all, if it's not weird enough that you guys want me to go to a strip club and you're like, oh, we won't tell her, like bro code. I'm like, it's not about if you'll tell her. Like, yeah, there is that fucking awkwardness. Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to marry your sister.
It's worth mentioning that only her family members wanted you to go to the strip club.
Yes, it is worth mentioning. Her straight brother, her not straight brother, and her straight cousin were all like, yeah, strip club. I'm like, why?
Go get some other titties in that face.
And it's, and then like it was said, like, well, it's not like we'll tell her. I'm like, I don't fucking care if you tell her. I don't, like, I actually genuinely don't want to go. Like, this is on a list of things that I have no fucking, and it seemed like to blow everyone's mind that there was a segment of the group that was just like, either, no, that's not enjoyable to me, or like, yeah, that phase of my life is like, well, because those were like basically the two answers from the, from the north side of the table, was like, yeah, no, it's not for me, or yeah, like that might have been for me like 10 years ago. And it just didn't seem that everyone could even comprehend that a lack of interest there was like even a possibility. And that's always fucking weird to me.
So okay, so I've in my years on this planet, I've been to exactly 2 strip clubs, one time each. Both one time, like, I don't want to say against my will, but like they were both with our friend that's coming into town tomorrow. And one of them was like my 18th birthday. He's like, get in the car, we're going for a ride. And that's where we wound up. So like, It wasn't as if I was like, let's go to the strip club. Right. Like the thing that I think I realized about myself, and then let me get on my high horse of prostitution now. Like the thing I realized about myself a while ago is I would be far too concerned if I'm paying for sex, like on any kind of level, which like a strip club is it's like dry humping. It's like paying for some form of sex, right? Like,
I feel like most strippers too are actually prostitutes.
Sure. I'm sure if you give them enough, whatever.
Yeah,
but
enough money, and they're fucking, you go into a back room, a VIP room, they pull the curtain and they're like, oh, like obviously
yeah, sure. So for me, like, I think that my concern would be that I would be so caught up in my head, like wondering to myself if that woman is enjoying the thing that she's doing, or if she's just obviously doing it to like whatever for me, that I wouldn't be able to like get it up or do anything anyway. Like I would just be like I wonder if she's like wants to be here, if she's really enjoying this, or she's just saying this. And I would just get so fucking caught up in my head that it'd be a non-starter for me. Like really, I think that's the thing.
Yeah. Prior to Allegra, I actually dated this girl who was a stripper. Mm-hmm. I did not meet her at a strip club. I met her at a phone store. And I met her at her other job, and after we hung out a couple times, she told me like, oh, like, cause like she told me because like there were a couple times where we would like be trying to make plans and then it didn't sync up, and I'm like, yo, like, are you like dating other dudes? And she's like, actually no. She's like, I want to talk to you about this because I really like you, but like I am a stripper, are you cool with that? And I was like, oh no, yeah, absolutely not. Like like definitely not. Like, and it was the thing. It was like, are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. I don't want somebody who I'm in a relationship with on fucking display, like dancing up on others. Like, absolutely not. Are you out of... Does anybody... Oh, guys are always like this. Whenever I meet a fucking good guy, this is like what he ends up saying to me.
Yeah, you attract what you are, kind of, right?
Yeah. Like so, like, yeah, there's a reason, like, good guys are fucking shooting you down. It's because you do something that isn't very respectable. So they don't respect you. And there's a reason trashy guys will be like, oh, I don't fucking care, because they don't fucking care, because like to them it's like, oh, I've been banging a stripper. Like, it's not impressive that you hooked up with somebody who already has low fucking standards. Like, doesn't matter what they fucking look like. But yeah, man, like I don't get it. It's never been for me and I have no fucking interest. But like it's one of those things, much like not drinking, that like people seem to not be able to get past. Like they can't comprehend it. Like it doesn't. So that girl, for example, was like, oh, well, you just haven't been to the right strip club. Well, I haven't been to any strip club. Well, why don't you come to like where I work? I'll take you there on my night off. We'll go together. No. Why not? Because I don't want to fucking go. Like, it's not like, I don't know what to fucking explain to you. You know what else I don't want? I don't want fucking mustard on my hot dog. You know why? I don't fucking like it. I didn't not have the right mustard. I'm not fucking I don't.
Have you tried habanero, like honey mustard?
I've tried honey mustard.
Okay.
But like, like, I don't want it. I know what it's about. I don't fucking want it. Like, it's not that I haven't had the right one. It's not that I haven't not had the right mustard. I haven't not gone to the right street. Like, I don't, like, what do you not fucking understand? Like, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah.
What is so difficult for people to wrap their fucking head around?
It's like saying like racist people just haven't met the right black person yet. Like, one day you'll meet him. One day you'll meet him.
That actually might be a fair.
It
might be fair in that scenario.
Somehow I found myself, I guess friends is the right word. So when I was in college, I lived with this guy who, his best friend that he had like this huge thing for, while we were in school, she she was my age, I guess, like worked a regular job or whatever. And then one day she just comes and she's like, she's more his friend or whatever, but we hung out all fucking the time. So she comes in, she's like, oh, I have to work late tonight or something. So she ended up getting a job at like, there's like two like larger like hoity-toity, I don't know, strip clubs in like the down like south part of town, like South Philly, right? So she worked at one of them and
Show and Tell.
No, the Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse, yeah.
So at one point
that was like a thing freshman year of college. Everybody would go to Show and Tell and they would be like, oh, Show and Tell show. It's just like, dude, it's like,
yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
It's oh no, so like she was like this normal girl. She was short. She was attractive. She was like, she had symmetrical features. She didn't have like, scars. Like, she was a cute little thing, right?
Yeah.
Not like overly hot, but she was just cute. So anyway, she got this job and then she would work like 2 or 3 nights a week and she just became this like whole other thing. Like so overnight she started making like 7 to 8 times more money than I did, right? Like, sure. I was working like 30 hours a week and she was making like twice what I would make in a week in a night or whatever, right. Like, it was just insane. And then she got this, like, she started to develop this real air about herself. Like, she was like really hot shit, right?
Right.
Because guys were always throwing themselves at her and throwing money at her. And I just realized that this person that I really liked like we got along well, like whatever, she just became this person that like, in the end, like I don't even think she like if I walked into a room, she would probably act like she didn't even know me, honestly.
Right.
Because she was just like constantly scanning the room for who was
Would give her
who
the
was
most
better,
attention.
who would give her the most attention,
Yeah.
who would have the most money. Like it just made her this whole fucking different thing. And I don't know. That's my. But yeah, I was friends with a stripper. Like I never reaped any benefits of it or anything. But I watched my fucking roommate, who was like one of my my closest friends at the time, like really fucking lose his shit because he like had a fucking like they went to high school together, and he just had a fucking crush and a half on her, and he watched her like go out and shake her titties all over the fucking town and shit, right?
Yeah.
And become like this real fucking asshole of a person.
Yeah, dude, people become a different fucking person, and that it's a wild thing.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's an outlier job. Like that's like an extreme, Like you're doing like some shit that yeah. So I guess
you're doing something that most people won't do, and I also think like it's one of those things that like I don't care how many fucking interviews that I watch with somebody that like tries to normalize it. Like it's something, it's trashy. Like period, the end. It's not something that you do because like you're fucking attractive and like it's a good way to make a lot of money and I'm just gonna do it to pay for school or whatever. It's something that you do because there's a gap in like you need lots of fucking attention and something is fucking missing inside of you and you're trying to fill it with like attention and cash and you're not gonna.
I think that's how she justified it. She was paying for school or some shit.
In college, I was actually friends with a male stripper.
Oh.
Yeah, this guy fucking John. And like it was like he tried to keep it secret from everybody. Like we became like pretty good friends like freshman year and like he had told me and he's like keep it. I mean, he was like fucking roided out to fucking hell and like he was like, just like keep it a secret from everybody. He's like, it's embarrassing. I don't want to make anybody to make a big deal out of it. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, nicest fucking guy. But yeah, he was a male stripper, and like he did like not like working at a club, but like specifically like bachelorette parties. And he would always say he was like he always like sucked in when he was talking like. He just did it like all the time. He'd be like, "Yeah, I was at this party the other night."
That's like a meathead thing to do. Is that like a roid thing to do? I don't know. It's got to be something, right? That's not like a sex worker.
I think you pick it up somewhere. I don't know where. It's just like
yeah.
I don't know. It was like because he almost did it in this way where it was like it almost felt like it was trying to be sexy. And it's just like, well, don't be sexy for me, dude. Like, I don't like.
Yeah.
But he would talk about it all the time. And like, I have a really good fucking bullshit detector. Like, he just wasn't a full of shit guy. He was actually like, he's actually pretty fucking insecure. And which would explain, like, at that age why you're using like tons of fucking steroids and, like getting naked in front of fucking strangers. Like, you might have the confidence to fucking do it, whereas other people don't, but you're also doing it to get fucking attention that other people don't get. So you're like, it is an insecurity. Like, it's not like I'm comfortable. Like, that's the thing. It's it's such an identifiable hypocrisy where it's like, oh, well, they're like that confident. They're that comfortable with themselves. And it's like, no, actually they're that insecure. They need that much attention that's how far they're willing to go. Like, it's not, I'm comfortable in my skin, so I'm going to undress. It's like you actually need so much attention, you're willing to go to that extreme. But he would say all the time, he'd be like, I love bachelorette parties. He's like, I'm always like, he would be, like, I've literally had sex with like, hundreds of women, just from bachelorette parties. He's like sometimes 3-4 a night in like a
Jesus
bridal
Christ.
party. He's like almost always the bride, and it's just like, oh, like it was such an insight at a really bad time or maybe a really good time for me to gain that type of insight. Cause like I was like, freshman year of college, it was like, I was going through a massive fucking breakup with like my girlfriend at the time who like, who was like straight edge and like, whatever. And then all of a sudden she started fucking drinking and doing ecstasy, and she's like fucking random dudes in like her school, like, a few miles away. And, so like to have piled on at like, 18, 19 years old, like, yeah, dude, like, and he would always say, he's like, I just don't trust women, period, because I know what they're like. He's like, because I know how they talk to me when they're fucking the guy that they're about to like commit their life to isn't around. And this is how they talk to me just because I'm there. And so is the opportunity. And he's like, don't, like he would say back then, he was like a little bit older. Like he was somebody who like went back to school. So he was like 25 or something like that at the time. And, he was like, don't ever fucking trust a woman. Like he would always say it all the time. And, maybe that fucking had an impact. I mean, I didn't trust anybody to fucking begin with after that experience, but like, it was a wild thing. And like, his, like, I don't know, man, my bullshit detector's too good. Like he wasn't making fucking stories up.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, he would have like videos of this shit, and he wouldn't like, he would like pull them up, and he'd be like, yeah, man, he's like this girl from like Friday, like asked if she could record it, and I was like, fine, but she's got to text it to me, so she did, and like, here's the I'm just like, dude, like, I don't need to see your dick. But like, he wasn't fucking bullshitting. Like, it's just, people are fucking scumbags, man.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of are. It's like, you kind of nailed it, I guess.
Yeah.
There's nothing more beyond that.
Yeah. People are fucking scumbags.
People are scumbags.
Well, we're 55 in. Do we want to?
Can I say little Yachty's yachtyornaughty.com one more time?
Yeah, and then the Yachty and Naughty app.
Yachty and Naughty app is coming soon.
Yachty or Naughty.
Yachty or Naughty.
Yachty or Naughty porn site.
Oh shit. Sorry about that.
Visit them all soon. We'll keep you posted.
Patent pending, trademark, whatever.
All right.
It's a wrap.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Later.
This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's like, is it?
I was interviewing my father about the way he wipes his ass.
Giant baby eating a billboard.
That tasted like a can of SpaghettiO sauce.
Yeah, like Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, like Chef Boyardee, exactly.
Yeah,
I wonder if I can find a way to like spray my semen on her face even when I'm not there.
Yeah, it's like a moral fucking dilemma.
It's an AIDS advertisement.
This is god awful.
Not the booze.